Hello viewers, welcome to UN Autonomous College. Today we are going to discuss about a new concept that is known as conversion from NFA with epsilon to DFA. In a previous concept we already discussed how to convert NFA to DFA. It's a normal conversion of NFA to DFA, but today we are going to discuss about that NFA must contain a epsilon concept and that epsilon must be omitted or removed to DFA part. But how is it possible? Today we are going to discuss about the whole concept in brief description. Now we can focus on the slide. So in this slide we are going to discuss what are the different outlines related to our topic here. First of all, we can learn what are the different introductions related to our topic. Then we are learning what are the steps converting to NFA to DFA. That means which contains some epsilon part. Then some examples are related to our topic. Then first of all we can discuss here that non-deterministic finite automata is a finite automata where for some cases when a specific input is given to the current state. So here the machine goes to multiple states or more than one states. We know that whenever user want to create some states and that states must be present in their diagram with more than one times. In that moment, this type of non-deterministic finite automata need to be converted to a normal state. But how is it possible? We are learning in step by step. Here, it can contain epsilon moves because you know that whenever user want to create one diagram, means NFA diagram, in that NFA diagram must have epsilon move. In that epsilon move, we are mentioning some states. So here it can be represented as M. M is machine. In that machine, that may be a NFA or DFA machine, which contains, we have the 5 parameters, and that is known as a capital Q is known as a whole set of states. Then summation is denoted as an input symbol. Then we have a transition that is known as a delta. Then we have a Q0 is known as initial state. Then we have a F that is known as final state. So these are 5 parameters which are used in our NFA diagram concept. So here we are already discussed what are the different criteria which are related to our NFA, because you know that whenever user can put any type of input symbols, in that input symbols we have multiple input symbols which are related to our diagram. Because suppose user can take the 0 as more than one times in a single state. Whenever a 0 can be received by a state, that may be self redirected. Whenever that 0 is received by a same state, it can create a next level state, whatever you can say. That means more than one input symbols or same input symbols used in NFA to create more than one states. The next slide we are going to discuss what are the different terms used in this epsilon conversion part. So here we have Q is known as a finite set of states. Then summation is known as a finite set of the output symbol. Next Q0 is known as initial state. Then F is known as a final state. Last but not least delta is known as a transition function. Transition functions means whenever user want to create any type of transitions, that means conversion from normal state to a next level state, in that moment that type of conversion must be recorded through this transition symbol. So this is one transition symbol which is specially used in our part. So here that NFA with epsilon move, what is the use of that? Here if any finite automata contains epsilon transition or move, then the finite automata is called as NFA with epsilon move. We know that whenever user can create any type of finite automata with epsilon transition, then it can create a finite automata with NFA, and that NFA also contains epsilon move, because due to that epsilon move we are learning how to convert some epsilon move to normal form. So here that's why you must take another concept that is known as we can create epsilon closure properties. With the help of these properties, for a given state A means a set of states which can be reached from the state A with only epsilon, means null move including the state A itself. So these are some moves which are used in our diagram. So in this slide already discussed what are the different criteria we can follow, because you know that what is the real meaning of NFA with epsilon move, then what is the meaning of epsilon closure in this concept. So here that epsilon is always denoted as a null move, means empty move. There is no move is created in the time of conversion of NFA to one DFA movement, or we can say normal state to one next level state. So these are some terms which are related to our topic. The next slide we are going to discuss what are the different states we are used to convert in one NFA with epsilon to one DFA part. So here we are discussing some steps which are related to our topic here. In the first step we will take the epsilon closure for the starting state or NFA as a starting state of DFA. That means without epsilon closure, we are unable to convert one epsilon transited, or we can say transited part of NFA cannot be converted to DFA part. That's why in the first step we must take the epsilon closure for starting state of NFA as a starting state of DFA. In the second step, we are going to discuss how to find the states for each input symbol that can be traversed from the present. So that means the union of transition value and their closures for each state of NFA present in the current state of DFA. We know that we must find what are the different type of states are used in our diagram. That means the conversion diagram. In that conversion diagram, we can count what are the input symbols used in and how it will be traversed from one state to another states, and what are the real properties of union and intersection properties we must be counted and noted in a specific table. The step 3 we are going to discuss, if we found a new state, take it as current state and repeat the step 2. Whenever user can take that state, that means a new state in step 3, in that moment it has current state and repeat in step 2. That means repeatedly this step 2 can be converted or executed one by one to get in the final moment. So here in the step 4, the repeat the step 2 and step 3 until there is no new state that is present in the transition table of DFA part. Because you know that whenever user want to execute the step 2 and step 3, in that moment there is no new state is present in that transition table of DFA. So in that moment you must take the help of one transition table or transition diagram, which is very helpful and reliable for user to creating it. In the last but not least here, that is step 5. In that step 5, we have marked the states of DFA as a final state which contains the final state of NFA. We know that suppose the user has some state and that state may be one final state, and we are creating new states or next level states, and that next level states may contain the final state in their state. In that moment, that state must be considered as a final state. Suppose we have a state Q2 and that Q2 is known as a final state. In that moment, we are creating another state that is known as Q0, Q2. In that moment, this new state or this next state must be considered as a final state, because it is also contain a state that is known as Q2, which is already part of a final state, which is already mentioned in the table. So in the next part, we are going to discuss what are the different examples are related to our topic. It's the most important thing which is required to converting, that is a NFA to DFA, but that NFA must contain epsilon, which are already is new for that concept, because you know that in the previous class already we discussed how to convert NFA to DFA. In that conversion, that NFA must contain some epsilon transitions. In that moment also we are creating a DFA part, but here we are going to discuss how to converting that epsilon transition to normal DFA part. So next slide we are going to discuss what are the different examples related to our topic. Here we have an example which is already discussed in their slide here, how to convert NFA with epsilon into its equivalent DFA. That means whenever user can create an NFA, and that NFA must contain some epsilon input symbol, that's a epsilon transition. So we need to remove it, and that epsilon transition must be converted to equivalent DFA part. But how is it possible? Now we can discuss here. First of all, this is one common diagram which is known as a NFA with epsilon. We need to convert some equivalent DFA part. Then we have follow some steps which are already mentioned in the slide. So here we can first of all we can discuss. Let us obtain some epsilon closure of each state which is already mentioned in their step diagram. So in the step diagram, first of all we can count or calculate what are the different type of epsilon closures we have in this transition diagram. So here we can count some epsilon closure of Q0. We can not we can focus on that diagram. Here already we are getting some transitions. Whenever user can counting what is the Q0 epsilon closure properties, in that moment the epsilon closure property is always self redirected. That's why that is known as a Q0. Next one is a Q1. Next one Q2. So these three states are related to our epsilon transition, and it's a part of a epsilon closure property. So whenever user want to count epsilon closure property, it is always denoted itself. That's why it is a common. If you are going to calculate this epsilon closure of Q0, That means in that time we have Q0 is a common part of that if Xylem closure. Then we have two parts, that is known as the Q1, Q2. Similarly, whenever user is going to count what is the if Xylem closure of Q1, in that moment we are discussing here, that is known as the Q1, because it is a self state directed. Whenever it is a self state directed, in that moment it is known as a Q1. So here that Q1 is known as a self epsilon closure part. So if a user want to going to calculate what is the epsilon closure of Q2, in that moment it is also denoted as a Q2. Then user want to calculate epsilon closure of Q3, that is also same Q3. That means it is always self redirected, which is already mentioned in this diagram. So last but not least here, that is known as epsilon closure of Q4. In that moment we are also getting same state, that is known as Q4. So in this way we are calculating the four states, because in this diagram we have four states, that is known as the Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. These four states must be contain this type of epsilon closure values of states. The next slide we are going to discuss. Now the let epsilon closure Q0 contains some states like Q0, Q1, Q2 be a state A. That means we are making this Q0, Q1, Q2 as they consider as a state A. So whenever user can say state A, and that state is a combination of Q0, Q1 and Q2. Hence, the transition of A means Q0, Q1, Q2 contains as an input symbol 0. In that moment, we are going to calculate is epsilon closure part. So here that epsilon closure part must contain a transition like, that is known as Q0, Q1, Q2 by taking input symbol 0. In that moment, we are going to find out the epsilon closure of transition, that is Q0 of 0, then union of, that is Q1 of 0, then union of transition Q2 of 0. Whenever user can put Q0 with a 0 input symbol, in that moment there is one state we are getting, that means the Q0 can contain Q0, there is no state, that means we have empty state. Then we are finding a, that is no union of Q1 and 0. Whenever Q1 taking one input symbol like 0, in that moment it can create a next state, that is known as Q3. That means whenever Q3 is created, whenever user can put input symbol 0 to state Q1, in that moment this Q3 is being created. So here already we are creating like Q3, then whenever user can put Q2 with 0 input symbol, that means that Q2 never take any type of 0 input symbol. That means there is no state, new state is created whenever user can put input symbol as 0. So it is one known as an empty state, because you know that here we never consider as an empty state. That's why we are counting here epsilon closure. So here we are going to calculate epsilon closure of Q3, because that Q3 we are find out this transition like Q1 whenever it takes 0 input symbol, then we can get in that Q3 state. So here that Q3 of epsilon closure, it is always self state, that is known as Q3, which is called it, just you can say as state B. Here that Q3 is considered as a state B. Whenever user can say state B, then it is known as a state Q3. Similarly, whenever user want to calculate like transition of A with 1, A means that is known as a 3 type of states are combining or considered as a set, that is a part of Q0, Q1, Q2. If a user want to going to calculate some epsilon closure of A set or A state, in that moment we can must create a transition, just you can open it, then it is shows that is a transition of Q0, Q1, Q2 and it take an input symbol like 1. Whenever user can put this input symbol 1, in that moment it is always open in 3 part of transitions, like we are going to calculate through epsilon closure, and that is shown in that slide here, that is going to epsilon closure of transition Q0 with input symbol 1, union of transition of Q1, then input symbol 1, then union of transition Q2 with input symbol 1. Similarly, we are going to calculate its whole transitions. Here, whenever user can put 1 to Q0, there is no state, which is already mentioned in the diagram. Normally, it is empty, so there is no new state is being created. Whenever user can put 1 Q1 with input symbol 1, in that moment this diagram shows that it can create a state that is known as Q3. Whenever user can put 1 to Q1, then it can create a Q3 state. User can put Q2 with Q1, that means this is a state that is known as Q2, and that moment it can create a Q3. whenever user can put q1 with 1, there is no state is present in this diagram. That means it is known as an empty state, so that there is no a new state is being written in that state chart diagram. So here we have explanations of that epsilon closure of q3. Here that q3 is created from, that is known as a q2 q1. Whenever q2 state take an input symbol like 1, then it can create a state that is known as q3. So here we are going to calculate epsilon closure of q3. In that moment we can create a state of q3. Whenever that state q3 is created, then that q3 is same as state b, which is already mentioned in the above explanation, that is known as, call it as state b. So here also that q3 is considered as a state b. So in the next slide we are going to discuss what are the real partial conversion of NFA to DFA part. Here we are going to create a partial DFA diagram. Here the partial DFA will be created as like, whenever user can take a state like A means state of 0, 1, then 2. Then we have a B, that is known as a Q3. We are getting this state. Whenever user can put 0, then in that moment we can create a Q3. That Q3 is known as a state B. Whenever user can put A with 1, then also it is means same redirected path, that is known as Q3, then is automatically directed to B, that is known as whenever user can put 1 as an input symbol. Now we are going to calculate, find out in the B transition. So in that moment we are going to find out the transition dash B of it by taking 0 input symbol. In that moment we are going to find out the epsilon closure of this Q3. B means Q3 with input symbol as a 0. In that moment we are getting as a 5. 5 means just we can say there is no empty state, it's a 5 state. So in that moment we have never create a new state in that part. So whenever user can put B as 1, that means epsilon closure of Q3 with 1 input symbol. In that moment we can create a state that is known as Q4. That epsilon closure of Q4 can create a state that is known as Q4 with state C. So that we are getting a new state, because which is already mentioned in the previous diagram, that is known as whenever user can put as Q3 with input symbol 1, in that moment it can create a state that is known as Q4. Here that Q4 is known as a final state. So here already we can mention in this slide, whenever that Q3 take a input symbol 1, then it can create a state that is known as Q4. And that Q4 we need to find out its epsilon closure part. So here that Q4 is a self state, that's why it is the epsilon closure is known as a same state, that is Q4. So we are going to discuss here how to getting its state. So that is the state C. That Q4 is considered as a state C. The next slide we are going to discuss for state C, because we have a state that is known as a Q4. C means Q4. Then we are going to calculate its state part. So here for the state C, we are making its transitions, that is known as a transition dash C, which is taking an input symbol like 0. In that moment we are going to calculate its epsilon closure. Whenever it is epsilon closure is being calculated of transition of Q4 with input symbol 0, then it is created one 5 state. So that 5 state is generated whenever user can put 0 input symbol to state Q4. So similarly, that Q4 taking one input symbol like 1, that is known as a transition dash of C of 1. So in that moment, that is known as a 1, which creates one state input symbol. So here that state input symbol must be need to be considered as a epsilon closure. So we are going to calculate its epsilon closure of Q4, and that Q4 is also known as a state C. So in that Q4 taking an input symbol 1, in that moment also we are creating the 5 state, because in the previous diagram already we have discussed we are getting a 5 state. That means in the 5 state there is no state is being created. That means the empty state. That means there is no any new state is being created in that moment. So here that 5 state is being created. So if a user want to create the whole complete one DFA diagram, in that moment here the DFA can be generated like that. Whenever user getting the part of this DFA part, that is known as state A, then we have a state B, the last state that is known as C, which is known as a Q4. So here that state is being created like that. So here user can put A with 0 input symbol, it is already created B, which is already discussed in the previous slide. Whenever user can put 1 as the input symbol to state A, it can create a state, or directed to state B, which is already discussed in the previous slide. Whenever this B slide or B state taking a input symbol 1, then it is created a next state that is known as C. That C state is known as 5 state, or you can say Q4 state. That Q4 state is taking 0 or 1. There is no a new state is being created. That state is known as a one empty states, which are not mentioned in this diagram. In the newly diagram, which is already mentioned in the question, that Q4 is known as a one final state. So that final state that is known as Q4, that's why the C is also known as a Q4. That's why it is known as represented through double rounded circle. So in this way we are creating like state diagram that is known as a DFA state diagram. Already discussed in the previous slide how to create a one DFA, and that state A, state B, then state C. We know that state A contains combination of three states that is known as Q0, Q1 and Q2. Then we are creating another state that is known as a B. In that B state, it is a combination of Q3 state. And similarly, we are creating a new state that is known as C, which is known as a Q4. So in this way, we are generating the three state with a one symbol that is A, B, C. And that ABC is a combination of some default state that is Q0, Q1, Q2 and Q3, 4. So in this way we are creating it. So these are a normal conversion of how to converting NFA with epsilon to DFA. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day. If you have any queries, please try to send through our YouTube channel comment box.